Yeah.
Defensive end, only guy really worth it. We have Nick Bosa and Quentin Williams is such a high talent level that we can't afford to pass on him. Would you agree with that as
No.
well?
Yeah, I would actually go as far as to say Quinn Williams is actually
Better.
the best prospect in this draft this year.
Yep. Nick
In
Bosa
my
is just
opinion, I think
it's
he's
a
the
guy
best.
with who also fits a major need. But Quinn Williams, he can pass rush from the inside, which is a need as well. So I don't want to discount him just because he's a DT.
Yeah, I think what Quinn Williams will do is collapse the pocket.
Yeah,
Massively collapse the pocket.
and like guys like Arden Key, get around the edge quickly and get the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
If you listen to Mayock and Gruden, they said the most important thing was to collapse the pocket so the QBs can't step up. QBs rather face pressure from the outside so they can step up, and then instead of facing pressure from the inside, they would have to roll out and get out of rhythm.
Yeah, because as soon as you push them from their comfort zone, which is central, then it means that they're open.
Well,
Whereas if you're getting pressure from the outside, they can just push the other way. They can just run the other way.
yeah.
Whereas if you're collapsing the pocket, what you're doing is you're putting him under that much pressure. Where it's like, oh, where the hell do I go with this ball?
All right, so worst case scenario, right? Kyler Murray goes at 1. He's probably 99% going at 1. Nick Bosa probably 99% go at 2. And at 3, it would make sense for them to go Josh Allen for the Jets. But if they go Quentin Williams, now we have our 2 best guys in the draft gone, right? Who are we taking it for?
I'm not. I'm trading back.
Yep. But if you had to take, you're not finding a trade partner, right? Nobody wants to.
So I have to take one person at that position. I'm taking Ed Oliver.
Let me play devil's advocate, right? Ed Oliver is more of a bull rusher, and he's not a natural pass rusher. Would you agree with that?
I would, but then I'd also say he can play anywhere along the line, which means that obviously he's going to cause headaches for other people because he's so athletic and he can move along the line. It means you don't have to statically put him in one box. So what that does for our defense is it means you can line him up on the outside, you can line him on the inside. And then if you have people who can complement him, then that's a massive headache for the opposition.
I think he's a guy you can line up as defensive end on the strong side and then move him inside on passing downs. Imagine him and Maurice Hurst on the inside. That would be terrifying. Who are you going to double team? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're both going to command attention. And the good thing with Ed Oliver is his testing was as good or if not better than Aaron Donald's when he came out.
Yeah, so I have that stuff in front of me. Aaron Donald, Ed Oliver weighed in at 281 in his pro day. It was 287 at the combine, but when he ran, it was 281. Aaron Donald was 285. Yeah. Broad jump, which measures explosiveness. Aaron Donald 116 inches. Ed Oliver 120 inches.
Yeah.
Vertical, Aaron Donald 32 inches. Ed Oliver 36 inches. 20-yard shuttle, Aaron Donald 439. Ed Oliver 422. 3-cone, Aaron Donald 711. Ed Oliver 715. So on the 3-cone, just a little bit. It's not even a big difference. And Ed Oliver said he didn't want to run his 40-yard as fast because he didn't want to pull a hammy or anything, and he ran a 4.73 official in his pro day. Aaron Donald ran a 4.68, which is both freaky, right?
Yeah, considering their size, that is freaky. Yeah. But what I would say is, from a power standpoint, Ed Oliver just shades it for me in the power ranks.
Yeah.
But
Ed
obviously
Oliver
he hasn't
is-
played it down in the NFL.
And
But
they played him at nose
physical
tackle.
specimen, yeah, as a physical specimen, you know that number one, he can tackle the run, which he can. And
Yeah.
number two, you know he can actually get pressure from the inside.
And they say he played at 275 to 280 range. At that range, playing nose tackle and getting in the backfield almost every single play, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
He's probably the best tested athlete this year in terms of how big he is and how well he tested.
And when you look at, I forgot what I was going to say. So if you look at the way he pass rushes, only reason he's not with Quentin Williams and Nick Bosa is his technique. So he's pass rushing. He doesn't have like the secondary and third move. He'll push the offensive center guard back. Then he won't pull cloth. He won't bring them down. He won't swipe their arm away. He won't try to dip underneath. He just tries to bull rush. So I think that can be coached up in the NFL, teach him some pass rush moves. What you can't teach is his strength and explosiveness,
No, that's natural. And then you can manipulate. Then you can manipulate what moves he should be using and educate him.
All right. So let's go really worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
If Nick Bosa goes 1, Quinn Williams goes 2, Ed Oliver goes 3, now who are you picking?
Brian Burns, edge.
Really?
Yeah.
I would disagree, and I would go with Greedy Williams.
That high?
Yeah, man. It's a premium position. I think he's the only one worth as a solid first round pick because it's a slow class. I don't know if any of these. I mean, only.
I don't know if I agree, but I think the biggest need is edge, and if you can get Josh Allen is another one I could have picked.
Josh Allen could have been there. Yeah, I would easily take Josh Allen over Brian Burns, and I'll tell you why. People on Twitter are going crazy about Brian Burns and his athleticism. But if you watch the game, he has one move, and that's the speed move. If he can't bend the corner, he's done. He's stuck. And Paul Gunther wants somebody who can set the edge as well. He's not going to set the edge against anyone. He's tall and lanky. He reminds me of Leonard Floyd from Chicago. He'll get moved out of the spot easily. If he can't win with athleticism right there, he's done. Like if an offensive tackle steps up and just grabs a hold of him, he's done. I mean, he can have. Yeah. He has some. As a pass rushing specialist, yeah, but I don't know if you're picking that high, you want to take a guy who can just pass rush. I think you want to take a guy who can do everything, and that's why I don't know.
Do you know what?
And I don't think because of that, I don't think he's going to go that high.
Do you know one guy we haven't mentioned?
Who's that?
Because say for instance, Nick Bosa, Quinn Williams, and Ed Oliver go the top 3.
You know who I would take? To be honest with you. I'm sorry. I'm going to change my answer. It's not Greedy Williams. It's Kyler Murray.
Yeah, based on talent, and if it's best player available, when you're thinking he's going to go number 1, and then he's there at 4, it's kind of like a no-brainer because you know you're going to get something from it. You're either going to have a really good starting quarterback or backup quarterback, or you're going to have someone who you have trade value.
I think that would be the smartest thing. Kyler Murray is dynamic. I didn't like him in his interviews. He seems kind of like, I don't know, like his head is somewhere else. He's not very mature yet, just like Derek was. But when you put him on the field, right, he runs like Michael Vick, and he can throw.
Yeah, he's a pretty incredible specimen of quarterback.
He's like, if you like putting Baker Mayfield.
Dwayne Haskins as well. Dwayne Haskins is falling down balls quite quickly at the moment. He was tipped to go top 10, wasn't it, at one point?
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to. I wouldn't waste a pick on him. I don't know how good he is. No. I mean, he's good, but I don't know if he can maneuver out of the pocket. I mean, Kyler Murray is dynamite. I don't know if anybody else is worth a top pick. Do you see any other quarterback worth that high?
No, I don't think it's a very quarterback friendly draft this year. I think there's, from Kyler Murray down, there's quite a big drop off. In my opinion.
Yeah, people like Drew Lock, blah blah blah.
I mean, they're okay, but they're not Kyler Murray. He's the best quarterback this year. I would actually wait till next year because I can't remember their names, but there's a few of them that I've seen coming up next year who are actually better prospects.
Yeah, I mean, Tua's good. Tua Tagovailoa.
That's the one.
Yeah, the guy from Washington. Not from Washington. What's his name? That was supposed to come out this year, that he didn't come out. I forget.
Yeah.
But he's good. And we might have a couple other more. Jake Fromm might come. Maybe he'll have a bounce-back season. Jake Fromm for Georgia, and he might play. So those are the guys. Give Derek Carr. I would definitely give Derek Carr one more year. And I think Raider Nation believes in him too, because I put a poll out there in our Twitter account. And,
yeah.
And it was like, do you think he's elite? Do you think he's good to very good? Do you think he's average, or do you think he's poor? And vast majority by far was saying average to very good. So I think he still has support out there.
I mean, we could have a poor quarterback, couldn't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We could be in a position like a couple of the teams around the league who just don't even know who their quarterback is.
Yeah, Derek Carr, justice protection. He's a guy. Broncos. I think he has. Derek has PTSD.
Sorry, I was going to say the Broncos changed their quarterbacks like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I think they might go quarterback again in the number 10.
Yeah.
They'll find a guy. If they don't find a guy,
they've got it.
That horse-faced idiot is gone as GM. So.
Yeah.
So we have our big board set, huh? We got Quentin Williams, we have Nick Bosa, we have Ed Oliver, and we have Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I think that would be the top. No.
You know, the rumor we were hearing is that if Quentin Williams is gone and Nick Bosa is gone, they might go after Devin White instead. And the reason is that after Devin White or Devin Bush, there's a huge drop-off. I don't think it's that big of a drop-off, but because there are other athletic guys like Blake Cashman and there's also Jermaine Pratt who can play. David Long is athletic. He's a really good will linebacker. But
yeah.
So what? Say that happened. Quinn Williams off the board, and we take Devin White. What would you say?
I'd be pretty pissed, to be fair, because I don't think he warrants going that high. I think there's only a certain number which fits on my hand worth number 4 pick. That's the 4 people we said, and probably Josh Allen.
Yeah, and it just could be smoke too.
Yeah, I mean, I like Brian Burns. I think because he fills a position of need, and I like him as a prospect, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be like overly ecstatic, but I wouldn't be upset either. But I think that in terms of value, there's 5 guys, and the 5 guys that we've mentioned would be the ones that I would take with the 4th pick. I think anyone else is a reach.
Yeah, I wouldn't even take. I don't even like. I like Brian Burns, but for Paul Guenther, I think I would take guys like Cleveland Farrell, or who's a safe prospect. He's not a home run hit, but he's the safest prospect